Entertainment Mode Soldier here, and I am back to talk about Star Trek Starfleet Academy Season 1, Episode 9, and my thoughts on this episode. Well, that was a bad episode, and why was it a very bad episode? This episode shows the incompetence of Starfleet, the stupidity of the cast, and oh my god, the complete misunderstanding of the writers to what they are writing about. So, this episode is all focused around two things. One, Caleb's bloody mother, and two, a super weapon that in Star Trek canon nobody would build because of how devastating it would be if it was ever to be used. But yet the writers don't understand that because, again, these are not Star Trek fans. They seem to just think you write this story and it would completely make sense and do no damage to Star Trek lore when it does the exact opposite. Having this weapon be created by Starfleet is canon breaking, since there was literally a directive to Starfleet captains to, whenever they saw this device, to do whatever they had to destroy it. Now, I can't really mention it because it's in the spoiler section, but if you're a Star Trek fan, all I got to mention is 7 of 9, Captain Janeway, Voyager, and a certain thing that was found in the Delta Quadrant that alarmed Janeway and 7 of 9, and the Borg saw as kind of like a god. I'm just going to say those words. If you're a Star Trek fan, you know what I'm talking about. And the fact there is so much lore around this one little thing that the writers should never have put it into this show, because, again, it makes no sense for Starfleet to make this device, because the last time they did, it did serious damage to the area that they built this device in. So why the fuck have apparently the Federation decided, nah, let's just forget all that and we're going to build this actual weapon. We're going to build this actual device. It makes no fucking sense. Absolutely none. But then, you've then got to ask, so you make this device, this spectacularly stupid device, you make it, and you don't put an armada around it. You're telling me you've only just figured out now that you have this device, and now you have figured out this is what Braca was going for all along. And again, why was there not an armada around this base? Why was there not an army defending this device? This device isn't just dangerous, it would make the burn look like nothing. Which, by the way, if they had done this device in Star Trek Discovery, it would have made it would have made more sense than the burn and what actually created the whole fuck up. Because this device actually makes more sense. It's in Star Trek lore, and how damaging it can be to the galaxy. Again, it makes the burn look like nothing of how damaging it can do, and what it has done to the galaxy. Oh my god, it just pisses me off they brought this device back, because even in Star Trek Discovery I said this device would have been better than the burn because it makes more sense. I'm not going through that again, but look, it just pisses me off. The writing is so stupid, and the fact the Federation didn't realise what Braca was doing with this device, like I knew in 10 seconds what his stupid plan was. Of course he was going to do that with the fucking devices. To trap the Federation? Are you insane? Like, that's all he was going to do with the fucking thing. It's so fucking stupid. And the Federation, again, just fall into Braca's trap. And it's like, who the fuck is working for Starfleet nowadays? Are they all just morons? Are they all that stupid? I can't say the other word because my video would then get destroyed by the algorithm. But, God, you know the R word I'm talking about. It's so fucking annoying how the writing is this fucking bad, and how Starfleet is just being led by the fucking nose by Braca, and it makes no sense. How are they this stupid? I figured it out in 10 seconds! For God's sake! It's... I guess we have got to talk about Caleb and his stupid mother fucking plot. I mean, the way he figured out how his mother was, talking to him, having to have Sam tell him the bloody bleeding obvious, it was just stupid. I'm not that bothered about the mother story anymore. I get it, they have to finish that story off because they can't really leave that lying around all fucking season. But my problem with this whole thing is we all know what's going to happen at the end with Caleb's mother. It's going to be, it was Starfleet who was wrong all along. She didn't deserve to go to prison, and it was absolutely wrong for them to take Caleb away from her and to make her face her crimes. It's like bullshit. She caused the death of somebody. She deserved to go to prison. Like, the writing in this is so fucking ridiculous. She caused the death of somebody. I get it. It's not great, and there was reasons she did what she did, but still, somebody died. Somebody has to take responsibility for that, and it had to be Caleb's mother. So I'm sick and tired of this bullshit apologistic nonsense from the writers that Starfleet was in the wrong for punishing a woman for causing the death of somebody else. That is nonsense. She should go down for that. But by the end of this fucking next episode, we all know what's going to happen. She's going to be a hero. She's going to save the universe. And we're just going to get this bullshit apology from Starfleet and how they were so wrong to put her in prison. And I'm just going to say this now. That is dog shit, and it will just absolutely piss me off if they do that. But unfortunately, that's where I think this show is going to go. But yeah, the episode as a whole, it's just boring as well. And I should mention this. These bastards, these utter bastards, copied one fucking scene, one epic scene from Picard season 3, and it's to do with a ship scene. That scene is a complete copy of what happened in Picard season 3 to do with the Borg and to do with a ship. That's all I'm going to say in the non-spoiler section. But that scene is a complete copy of that scene. And that just pissed me off because this show is what we got instead of the Legacy show. And, you bastards, copying that scene. Just go fuck yourself for that. So I'm going to give this episode as a whole, I'm giving it a 0. It wasn't good. It was dumb. And, there's another fucking dumb part of this episode that I'll go into in non-spoilers. It's mainly to do with the crew of the Athena and how there was barely anybody on that ship. I'll go into it non-spoilers. But that was stupid as well. But yeah, it's a 0 out of 10. I didn't like anything of the episode. It just pissed me off throughout. Oh, God. But yeah, let's get to spoilers. Now, if you don't want to hear spoilers, leave in 3, 2, 1. So, the episode starts off with the celebrations of the end of the first year of the reopening of Starfleet Academy. Everybody's celebrating, everybody's happy, and they're all heading to Beta Z to, do a whole celebration of the new capital of the Federation, which is, from episode 2, where they agreed to, do the whole capital thing on Beta Z to get them back into the Federation. So the Athena is being sent to go join the rest of the Armada to celebrate the opening of the new capital. Then we get the dumb fucking news of the episode, because the Admiral from Discovery comes in to finally tell us and the Chancellor, what did Bracker steal from that secret military base? Oh God, this is going to piss me off even more. So, what did Bracker steal and why? So apparently what Bracker stole from the secret Federation starbase was Omega. Now, for the uninitiated or the unusual Star Trek fan, Omega is the Omega device, which is a pure energy device that people can create that will make energy forever. It's like a perfect device. You know, it was so perfect the Borg saw it as a god, and they wasted so much time, and you know, so many Borg got killed by it. There's an episode of Star Trek Voyager that explains it better than I can, but it's this really pure device that is like seen as a god by the Borg because of how perfect it is as an energy source. Now it is a great energy source that can power entire planets with just a single atom of it. But the dangers of this device is that if you don't get it just perfectly, and it's literally impossible to do this, it can destroy warp bubbles. It can destroy warp capability in the area that it's created in. Because there was this accident that happened in the Federation that makes it impossible for warp capability. Again, that's why I say the Omega device would have been better than the stupid burn. The Omega device has been shown as how dangerous it is. It would have also pretty much explained why the Romulans couldn't be able to take over the universe, because again, their technology would also have been affected by the Omega device. That's again why I said in my previous Discovery videos, the Omega device would have been a better story for Discovery to say why warp drive systems couldn't work. Because again, it is so dangerous that it can destroy warp drive entirely. Not just have a bunch of ships blow up because some bitch cried and all the crystals on every ship just blew up. Which again doesn't make sense. I'm not going into that, but it just doesn't make sense because there's just so many reasons why it would work that way. So yes. But by the way, why this also breaks Star Trek lore is that there was the Omega order that went to every Federation officer. We saw it in Voyager when they detected Omega, and what did fucking Captain Janeway do? She had to go off and try to destroy it, but then the whole crew found out about it, blah, 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 blah. All that shit that happened on Voyager. There is a rule. There is a fucking order to Starfleet captains to destroy Omega at any fucking cost. And you're telling me now Starfleet just said fuck that, and fuck the massive amount of damage it can do to the universe, we'll just start making this device again. That's just so stupid. Especially after the Federation is just dealing with the burn. Like, you're seriously telling me Starfleet said fuck it, let's do this, that might do even more damage to warp drive? It just makes Starfleet look like fucking idiots. Just complete idiots at this point. So then, you know, the Admiral tells us that he's stolen it. And not just that, but he's built a weapon out of it. And it's pretty much, he's sent a message to Starfleet by blowing up an Omega bomb in some worthless area as a warning to Starfleet. And I was just like, oh, so he's built a weapon out of it. Oh, so he's just going to, you know, encircle Starfleet. I knew his plan straight a fucking way. Like, why the fuck none of these idiots knew that was going to happen? It's just beyond me. So you're telling me he's built a bomb that can literally cut off the Federation from anywhere he wants. Then obviously he's going to encircle Starfleet. Like, how do you not figure that shit out? But again, I'm going to ask the question, how the fuck did you think it was a smart idea to take away that Voyager class ship from that secret base if that weapon is on that starbase? You have got to be fucking... It just makes Starfleet look stupider and stupider and stupider, and I'm fucking done with it. These writers don't know what the fuck they're doing. So they get told, keep going to the fucking, you know, inauguration of the new capital of Starfleet, and Starfleet will figure out what to do about Braca and his now new super weapon later. I mean, for me, I'd probably say maybe we should find Braca with the entire armada and kill him. But fuck it, hey, let's just wait and hope to God he doesn't do what he is obviously going to do with these weapons. I mean, fucking hell. So whilst this is all going on, we get Caleb and Sam having a little chat, because Sam's... I'll give the writers credit with this one thing. They have shown that Sam has actually changed from what she used to be. You know, instead of being this annoying weird girl, she's now kind of like a bit more sane, I'll say. Like, she's a bit more normal. And, you know, she's now trying to kind of pull away from the group, at least away from Genesis, because she still feels weird about what she used to be. So I'll give them credit there. But yeah, so they then have a conversation about their mother and how he's still, you know, keeping an open channel to his mother and hoping that she gets into contact someday, and that he still looks and for secret signs from his mother, you know, every day. And this scene just seems stupid to me, because Sam then just says, oh, so you're looking for the complicated shit. Why not look at the easy shit, like a single word that might be something you and your mum used to say to each other in secret? Maybe she'd use that code to send you messages. And apparently, yeah, that's all it took. Sam was absolutely right. Because then Caleb is able to find all these secret messages from his mother, because the moron couldn't do a simple search for a simple word. He just needed Sam to push him in that direction. It's just so stupid. Like, are you telling me he never thought about this? He never thought maybe go really simple with figuring out a secret message from his mother? He kept thinking it's going to be this massively complicated bullshit. Like, fuck off. Caleb's not dumb. He would have figured out someday. What they should have done here is just his mother sends a secret message to him now. Not the fact she sent thousands of fucking messages over the years and Caleb has just finally figured out how to fucking read them. It's just so fucking stupid. And just so we can have this, you know, insane, ridiculous rescue mission that we just have to have so he can go rescue his bloody mother. And it's just, oh, God. I just don't care. Again, I don't like his mother. She is a fucking murderer, or at least she should be done for manslaughter. Like, I have no love for the character. I'm sorry. It just seems so stupid, and so, like, we have to apologise for people keeping to the rules because some bitch couldn't do the exact same thing. So Caleb sees the messages, then realises, oh my God, his mother's on this certain planet. It's going to be taken over by the Mel Reeves or whatever the fuck the pirates are called, and he needs to go over there and rescue her. So he steals a shuttle. Then Sam says that she's going to go with him, but he says, no, you can't do that. I don't want you to come with me. But then Sam does make the reasonable, you know, rebuttal of, well, I can actually get you to your mother because I can actually do all the complicated math to get out of the Athena without getting destroyed. So reluctantly, Caleb says, okay, you can join me. Then Genesis appears on the ship and says she was brought in to kind of help get the shuttle off the ship secretly. But then she seems to be weirdly concerned with the fact Caleb is going on this secret mission. Like, Genesis, what the hell did you think was going to happen? That you got asked to secretly help them steal a shuttle. What did you think they were going to do with this shuttle exactly? Oh, and then, what the hell is he called again? Darren comes on the shuttle, pissed out of his head. Apparently his race doesn't do well with alcohol or bananas, apparently. Apparently his race is just really shit. And they keep throwing up glitter for some reason. Oh, I should mention the stupid scene beforehand when Jaydan invited them all into his house, which I don't think he can do. Because they do this little ceremony, with this Klingon ceremony with each other, and they keep saying this is like really important thing, but Jaydan is not the head of his house, so he can't do that. He can do the whole like asking to have them join, like Worf had to do with Martok to get his son to join. But yeah, Jaydan is not the head of his house, so he can't do that. So say that they all become members of his house is like ridiculous because they're not. Again, Jaydan is not the head of his house. He can't do that. He can invite them, but he can't give them membership. So yeah, they do that stupid scene. So they get on the shuttle. Genesis keeps arguing, and then Sam just gets the ship moving, and then they just escape the Athena and are able to get out of the warp bubble of the Athena and are able to take a trans-warp, what the hell do they call it? lane. I'll call it a lane. A transwarp lane. Apparently, there's just a bunch of transwarp lanes now in Starfleet. I mean, in Star Trek, there's just transwarp lanes that just come out of nowhere. And you could just go down them without having to transwarp capable ship. I don't remember it being that way. I do remember the Borg built transwarp routes, but they were very, like, big areas that were, well, controlled by the Borg, but, you know, I don't know what the fuck the Borg are doing right now. But do they just have random routes going everywhere? That seems a bit weird. Like, they had to be built, these transwarp routes, by the Borg and by anybody else. So that needs a bit more explaining to me. So they take this transwarp route to the planet where the pirates control. They get down there. They start looking for Kala's mum and some stuff to repair the shuttle because they apparently destroyed or damaged one of the nacelles on the shuttle, so they have to repair it. So Genesis and Daron go off looking for the parts, and Caleb goes off to look for his mother. We then go back to Starfleet, or at least back to the Athena, where the Chancellor is then informed by Jadon and Tarama that Caleb and the rest have gone on this secret mission. And so the Chancellor has to go tell the Admiral she's going to drop off her she's going to drop off her students and then head off to rescue Caleb and the rest of them from the pirate planet. Now, she tries to bullshit the Admiral. The Admiral, again, says, you can't bullshit a bullshitter. Isn't it great how the language in Starfleet has turned into total shit? Where we're just having F words and B words just thrown around like it's just nothing. And then when you rewatch old Star Trek, when you see the episodes where they explain about how Earth language used to be really shit and how humanity was able to move beyond swear words. And now we're just back to bullshit. It's just bollocks, man. It just really is. So he agrees to let the Chancellor go off to do a rescue mission. But what's really stupid about this rescue mission is you're sending a school when you could send a starship. Because, again, the entire armada is at Beta Z. They're right there. You could send one fully manned starship to go off and rescue the cadets. But no, we're not going to do that. We're going to send a school with 3 fucking people. No bullshit. That's how many people are on the Athena when they go off for their rescue mission. They don't send a security team with them. They don't send additional ships. They send the Chancellor, the Doctor, and the engineer from Discovery. That's it. That's the rescue party. It's like, oh my god. So if they meet up with a fucking pirate fleet or a pirate ship, they got to hope to God they don't start beaming, pirates on the ship because they would have no way of repelling them. It's so fucking stupid. And I know there's going to be some prick probably watching and saying, well, they do have computer systems to run the ship. I'm not talking about running the ship. I'm talking about the fact you are going to a pirate area where you are definitely going to see combat, where you've got to hope the pirates don't decide to beam onto your ship. How would they repel them? Have they got systems on the ship to have fire phases without crewmen? Have they got systems to beam them off the ship if they can? I mean, Jesus. There are so many fucking ways this could go wrong that it shouldn't have been allowed to happen in the first place. Like, they could literally risk the pirates stealing the fucking Athena, for God's sake. I mean, at the end of this episode, they do steal a part of it. But anyway, so they go off to do this stupid rescue mission. We get back to the pirate planet where Caleb is looking for his mother. He then figures out this weird woman is doing some weird deals with people. And he figures out that's his mother. She then attacks him and then he reveals, hey mum, it's me. Aren't you so happy to see me? They have this stupid moment with each other, which I just didn't give a shit about. Where then his mother says, I'm glad you're back. Now we can go off and have adventures together. Woohoo! Let's hope we don't kill anybody this time. Or at least let's hope we don't kill any innocent people this time. So then Caleb's friends come into the room and scare the shit out of his mother, who points a phaser at them, where Caleb is trying so desperately not to reveal that they're from Starfleet, but tells his mother they're just his friends, they come from all over the place. And his mother asks some questions and looks at their fingernails and sees that they're pretty clean, so not just anybody. Why Caleb didn't just tell her they were from Starfleet? I get it, she'd be angry, but if they're here to help him, maybe he could have explained it a little bit better than, oh, we're just some random people who got together. Like, of course, your mother would have more questions because it makes no fucking sense, Caleb. It makes completely no fucking sense. And the woman is already fucking, on edge because she's still trying to run from the pirates and run from anybody she's probably screwed over in the past. Like, just saying that to her, she'd just have more questions when you could just tell the truth. Yes, it'll probably be hard to explain, like, well, you're working for the system that put me in prison, but maybe saying, well, I was in a shit situation myself and Starfleet helped me, and these people are my friends and they also helped me as well. Maybe she would then understood, Caleb. Just saying. So, Caleb then has the unfortunate, well, actually, he has to tell the crew that he's leaving Starfleet because he's going to join his mother on her adventures. And they all tell him that's stupid. So what does Caleb do? He does the pathetic, like, I'm going to call you names so you will just let me go. And he insults Jadon. No, he doesn't. No, he insults Darum and, calls him out for his bullshit. And then calls out Genesis for her bullshit as well. And it's just obvious he's telling them, nasty things to get them to let him go. But then Sam gives them a massive hug and then they leave. And then before they leave to get back to their shuttle, they're then captured by the pirates, who then start interrogating them and asking them where they're from. Caleb asks his mother what's going to be done to them, and she just tells them, well, they're Starfleets, they're going to get killed as a warning to the planet not to mess with the pirates. And so Caleb can't let that happen, so he goes off to rescue them. And then we go back to the Athena, where the Chancellor then detects two anomalies on the ship, which turns out to be Tarama and Jadon. And that happens. I mean, not really much happens except they get sent to stay in the Chancellor's room. And then we go back to the pirate planet where they do this pathetic rescue mission for the cadets. And they kill a bunch of pirates. But then we get the disgraceful scene, and I will call it disgrace, the copy scene from Picard Season 3. Now, this scene is the exact copy of that scene, and I will hear no other argument. So, the Athena decides to go into the planet and fly straight above the cadets and Caleb's mum, to beam them back on the Athena, which makes no sense because the Athena can do that exact same thing in orbit. Doesn't need to come down to do this. This scene is copied exactly from when the Enterprise had to beam Picard and his son from the Borg ship because they couldn't get through the Borg shielding. And it's the exact same scene. The Athena comes down right near the ground where you saw the Enterprise do a great little spin and come over Picard and his son. That scene is copied. And what pisses me off more is this is the show that took the place of Legacy. And that pisses me off because we could have got Legacy, but we got this shit instead. And you bastards have the tenacity to fucking copy that scene when you robbed us of that season, of that series. You fucking bastards. It didn't even make sense. You could have done the beam from in orbit. You didn't need to do this stupid fucking... And I think the excuse was they wanted to send a message to the pirates to do this. And it's just like, why? Why? It made no sense. You're putting yourself in massive danger by doing this. Not to mention what it could be doing to the ship itself by going into the planet. I mean, for God's sake. It makes no sense. So, whilst they're having this fight, Caleb's mum gets hit by a phaser shot. They all get beamed onto the Athena. And then they race out of the system where Caleb's mum gets taken to the med bay to get, fixed up after getting shot. The Athena then gets chased by a couple of pirate ships where they use their tractor beams to hold the ship in place. The Chancellor tries to figure out a way to repel the tractor beams, but there's no way they can do that. So the Chancellor decides to give up half of the... Well, actually, 80% of the Athena to the pirates by dislodging the saucer section, or at least the small saucer section, you know, that bit there, from the main part of the ship, and they then warp to a nebula to hide from the pirates, where they then figure out Bracca's plan, where they then scan a way through to the Federation, but they then detect all of these Omega bombs or Omega mines planted all around the Federation, where Bracca has now trapped the Federation in a box where they can't leave their space, and now Bracca thinks that he can take over the universe now that he has trapped the Federation. And the episode ends... Oh, actually, before that, I just want to talk about the plan, or at least what Bracca's plan was. So Bracca has trapped the entire Federation using the Omega mines around the entire Federation's areas or whatever. And what did the Federation do? The Federation apparently pulled all of their ships out of, unknown space or uncontrolled Federation space, and pulled them all back into the Federation. And that was apparently a plan to halt Bracca's plan. And nobody saw the downsides to this. Apparently, they didn't understand what Bracca could do with those weapons. Like, this plan could have just been stopped if the Federation had kept their ships outside of the Federation. Because then Bracca would have been dealing with a armada that could fight him on his turf. Like, what the fuck was the plan here? You just sealed yourself from the galaxy, Starfleet, for no other reason than stupidity. That's what it looked like. But don't worry, people. One part of the Athena is outside the bubble, and that's what's going to help us fight Bracca. And the episode ends with the Chancellor meeting back up with Caleb's mum, and it ends with them saying hello to each other, or it looks like or it looks like Caleb's mum is probably going to start the episode by attacking the Chancellor. But that's how it ends. Terrible episode. Absolutely terrible. I didn't like the fact they brought the Omega device into this. I think, again, I just have more questions about why the Federation built this weapon, when, again, there is clear law and rules that the Federation never wanted to build this device again because of how dangerous it is. And again, it makes no sense why the Federation would build this device, especially after the burn. But then, why the fuck didn't they put enough protection around it? Just one starship to defend this deadly weapon? Are you insane? The writers don't understand anything they're writing about this show. That's what really pisses me off. Like, yes, I get it. You probably heard about this weapon, something you didn't hear about when you were doing fucking Discovery, but now you've heard of it, you decide to bring it into Star Trek, or at least the Starfleet Academy, but you still don't understand the device and how dangerous it is. Like in Voyager, they explain why 7 and 9 wants to build it, because again, it's like a god to her and to the Borg. But it did explain why you can't build it, because of how dangerous it is, and how there's not really any benefit to building it. There's just too much dangerous stuff that comes from it. But now you're telling me Starfleet just said, fuck it, we'll just build it anyway? Especially after the burn and how dangerous it would be if it fucked up. They just don't understand it. So don't bring it in, writers. This is way above your writing grade. You don't know what you're doing with this. So it just destroys the episode for me. And again, Caleb's mum bullshit. Like, I know what's going to happen with her. She's going to have to be a hero in the next episode. And then when she's so heroic, all you're going to have throughout the episode is just a Chancellor apologising for her, but then never mentioning the fact she killed somebody. She killed somebody. And when you do that, that means you go to prison. Doesn't matter the reasons why you did it, you still cost someone their life. So I'm not going down this road of, well, she saved the universe, so I guess we've got to forgive and forget. Fuck off. Especially when you just had tons of episodes of the Chancellor apologising for doing her job. So, yeah, next week's episode, it is the final episode, thank fuck. But, my God, I'm just annoyed with this season. We'll get one more season, but that will be it. The ratings for the show have also been abysmal. I've kind of seen those numbers, and yeah, this show does not have a bright future, unfortunately. Look, I still think there's potential. Genesis is a good character. Callow can be a good character sometimes. Not really much else of the cast I can point to. Maybe Jadon, if they get rid of the gay shit and make him just a Klingon, maybe he'll be a good character. The new Sam, I mean, maybe she'll be a good character. We haven't seen enough of her yet. I mean, this episode is an improvement on her character, don't get me wrong. But is it a bit too late? I think it is so, unfortunately. Look, do I like this show? Not really. Is there potential? Yes. But unfortunately, I just don't think the writers are good enough to bring this show to some sort of realistic future level, in my opinion. I think we'll get one more season and that will be it. And it would be a shame. Not that, listen, the writing does not help. If they get rid of the writers, if they bring in real Star Trek fans to write this show, I think it would have a future. But unfortunately right now, I don't see that as realistic. I think this show will be seen as a disaster. I think Paramount will just get rid of it. And yeah, maybe that will be it for Star Trek for a long time. And as us Star Trek fans, we'll have to just accept that. And it will be a gut punch since we could have got Star Trek Legacy. Maybe it is right that it takes a very long break until we can get better people into positions that can actually do a better job. But yeah, that's the end of my review. If you like this review, give it a like. If you dislike this review, give it a dislike. And if you like my content, do think of subscribing. If you have a comment, leave below and I'll try to get back to it. And if you can, please share on any social media, X, Facebook, Instagram, whatever you can. I'd really appreciate that. Entertainment Mode Soldier. Bye.